G'day dear friends, welcome to Xrissart. My name is Chrissy and today I thought, you know what, you probably all know me mostly for being a pastel artist, granted, but I do dabble in other mediums like coloured pencil, watercolour, and of course my first love is oils. So I'm always trying different products, as you know, and today is the enabling day. I will be enabling. G'day Cherry, hello, how you going? Thanks for keeping me company today. So I don't use mediums much, apart from oils. I don't think I use mediums all that much. I mean, even with pastels, you know, there are grounds and stuff like that. I mean, I use Pastelmat, as you know, one of my favourite papers. So I don't use mediums as such, and I think what I should do is take advantage of mediums in, in each of the, like the art materials. Like, for example, watercolors, for example, and acrylics, that is just like a whole ball game altogether, which one I do have and I want to tackle in the biggest way possible. Okay, so what I did was I had a look at QOR Watercolour lifting medium. So I thought, well, what happens when I want to lift watercolor? Of course, there's lots of ways to do it. And I mean, look, I'm not a watercolor expert, but I'm only telling you what I'm playing with, and I'm happy for you to tell me, Chrissy, no, let's do it this way, or let's do it that way. So I'm very, very happy about that. G'day, Abigail, Nuria Paulo, hello. All right, so actually, Abigail, you can tell me, because you are the medium expert on so many products. So you can, because I know that you like gum arabic and ox gall, I think it is. There, I see, I know what you like. But lifting medium, so for example, someone like me, I digress. So the normal way that people would lift watercolor would be to, if you've applied your watercolor on your surface, water your brush and lift up with your brush. That's one way. Number two, a paper towel. I mean, some people would even scrub with their brush. Sponges, there's lots and lots of different ways. But I thought, wouldn't it be interesting for us to try this medium and see what it is? Now, I have not tried this before today. The only thing I did was just before the stream, I thought I would just do just a small little test to see what would happen. And I tried this on with a staining colour, and we're going to go through this on the different surfaces. This, the phthalo colours are probably one of the most staining colours, regardless what art medium, whether it be coloured pencil, oils, watercolour, you name it, all of them, they are staining, pastel even, So when it comes to lifting, you're not going to get the white of your paper, are you? Or down to nothing. So that's why I thought I would try the phthalo colours. Now, I've got a few things in front of me to test. I've also got, I'm just playing here, right? So I just want to see what it's going to do. Just some ink. It's not watercolor, I know, but I thought, you know what, ink does stay there. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it says here light, fast and waterproof, but I want to see what it does to ink. Okay, I've got the Hydrus watercolors, if we wanted to try those. I've just got these by my side in case you wanted to ask me about certain things. And I thought, what else could I do? Let's go in Inktense, hey? So now, no matter what color I use here, whether it be phthalo, well, I don't have it here, but I know it's ink. So the chances of this picking up ink, you know, I reckon close to zero. But what do I know? I haven't tried it, and I will try it. Okay, so I'm going to put these aside. Okay, I'm really curious about this one, as I have only used the Winsor & Newton one. Unfortunately, we don't get QOR in my country. No idea why. Is the ink pigment or dye based? Okay, it says pigmented India ink. I don't think it's dye. I think it's pigmented. P.H. Martin's. So, yeah, well, that's what it says. That's what it says. Okay, I was playing with Inktense this week. I forgot how much I love them. Oh, yes. I love them too. I love everything. Okay, so the brushes I'm going to be using are various. Oh, you can ask me which ones. I've got and I think the reason I'm telling you is this is because, you know, it'd be good to test with a brush, without a brush, you know, all of those kinds of things. These brushes are Rosa Gallery. Okay, one is Raccoon. This is Squirrel. These pale ones are Raccoon. That is Squirrel. What have we got here? We've got Pure Squirrel here by Winsor & Newton. We've got the Princeton Neptune. I know that these are synthetic, but they emulate, and they're so soft. They emulate, or maybe, yeah, they're really, really nice. And I've got the Neef brush, which is a mop. I believe that that's synthetic as well. Hi, Chandri. Hi, Oksana. Hello. Nice to see you. Okay, so let's get going. Now, what I did is I emptied my love of containers. I emptied a little bit of the medium in a little jar like this so I can use it. So I will put it aside. Let's just do this so you can see. Oh, hang on. I just need you to see it there all the time. Okay. Just a brief explanation as to the color, the papers that I'm testing. I'm testing on Arche Watercolour 300 GSM Gold Press. Now we all know what the Arche looks like. Now this is the old packaging. I still got it. Okay, so this is the Arche 300 GSM, because I think that's important to note. I've got it, the cold press and the hot press. I also thought it would be interesting to try the Fredrix watercolor canvas. Let me see. I'll show you. This is the canvas. Oh, okay. It's made for watercolor, all right? See, I just cut a bit off. So that's canvas. Okay, my current project is in Inktense pencils. I love I love how vibrant they are. Yes, the birds. Yes, I've seen it, Oksana. You're going so well with that. They're so nice. So nice. So that is if you haven't seen this, because I know most people have, but for those who haven't seen it, this is canvas for water-based paints. Well, I suppose you could use acrylics on this too, couldn't you? So there's that paper. I've got I've got the Dale Rowney watercolor cold press. Now, you know what? This feels rough to me. Okay, now it says, I don't know what the knot means, but cold press, watercolor, 300 GSM, but it feels rough to me. Okay, so I've just got to tell you that. What else have we got to try? The Stonehenge Aqua Hot Press, 100% cotton, 300 GSM. Now you've seen me use this, you've seen me demonstrate with this before. So Legion make Hotpress watercolor paper. Okay, 300 GSM, 100% cotton. So there's that. Let's put that aside. What else have we got? Of course, Pastelmat. What are you thinking? I am going to include that in my test. Pastelmat, white, 300 GSM. Voila. There we go. And this one, Toscana, and I thought I'd include rough. Well, it says rough, so that's why I put down rough. This is an Italian paper. Yes, it is an Italian paper and rough. And you know why I thought Dale Rowney was rough? Because it felt not quite, but very close to this rough. Now, here on screen, you can't see all of those things, so you just have to take my word for it that this is what it is. Again, it's called Toscana, 100% cotton, rough, 300 GSM. But in this one, it says here, ideal for watercolor, gouache, and acrylic. All right, so now, as I have not used this before, what I've done is the instructions, so you can help you. Thank you, Chrissy. They brighten up my mood as I draw them. I'm so curious about all you're trying out today. Oh, yes, very interesting. Okay, this one, see, as you know, I work in an art shop, so there are certain things that I'm looking at. I'm thinking, I haven't tried that. I think I might try that. So this is where my mind is going at the moment. So I haven't tried this, and I believe Schminker also make a lifting medium. So I'm only trying the core today. Okay, now here in the directions it says improves lifting of colours, apply to paper and let dry before painting. So at least I've done that. Okay, so what I've done is I've gone ahead, except for Ash. You know what I did? I was silly. I did the whole thing. So I've got an Ash one that I haven't put that medium on, the lift medium on. So what I've done is I've gone halfway, all the way through, and I wanted to compare with or without the medium. So just before the stream, I've applied it. And what I wanted to do is try the mediums and then maybe just do one stroke all the way with them so we can see the differences, and then let it all dry. I've got to dry with me, so don't worry, and go from there. So I've said enough. Now I've got some watercolor paints as well, so if you're asking me for any particular color, but I thought the best thing to do would be to use the strongest staining, which okay, well this is, I've got let me see, I've got Sennelier, I've got Schminker, oh hang on, is this, no, nope, hang on, I've got Daniel Smith. Okay, this is these are my paints, and this is the ones that I've made my tin myself, or you know, not made the tin, but you know, the set. And I've done my own watercolor, so I figured to get something like the phthalo blue red shade. This is in the what am I saying? In Daniel Smith, sorry. And I can also see phthalo yellow green, which I think that might be a good one. So I'm just trying to find the ones where I know that the pigment is, and there's a phthalo blue green shade. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to fuss about that. So, but yes. Okay. Do you put the medium before you paint? Yes, is the answer. Yes, is the answer. Excuse me. Hang on a sec. Oh, gosh, what's happening there? Yes, is the answer. All right, so All right. How can I make it so you can see? So yes, I did that first. Let's put that here. And the only reason, I just want you to see that, you know, this is like an absolute test. I'm playing because I really want to see what happens. I've got to remember what I'm doing here. So please remind me if I'm not doing, please remind me of the colours in order, because once I start mixing, it's, once I get stuck into it, I'll forget unless I write things down straight away. Okay, in that case, you can also use gum arabic. Really? Oh, okay. Well, see, there you go. This is the whole point of playing around. Okay, these are some of the colours. All right. What else can we use? Well, I've got them in a pan, so that's fine. And I've got those other colours in the pan. Well, let's do this. Okay. Yes. Okay, this is phthalo. This is phthalo blue. Just phthalo blue. No green, no red shade. Oh my gosh, look how beautiful and vibrant that is. Okay. Now remember, I've done this here. It's about there. So this is the canvas. Apply more colours. Not bad on the canvas, the watercolour. Yes. I did say hello to Chandri, didn't I? Yes. Chandri, I saw that photo on Facebook where there was a snow, where your dad built a snowman for you. Oh, all that snow. Look how beautiful that colour is. Oh my gosh. Don't forget also, please note that the Sennelier have got honey in their, honey as their binder, and they're transparent, mostly transparent. Here we go. Oh, the Stonehenge hot press paper is nice too. These papers are really nice, by the way. Oh, this will be interesting. Pastelmat. Now we know that Pastelmat is a pastel paper. It is not going to react. It's going to cauliflower. Look, it's already starting to cauliflower. Hang on, I need a little bit more blue. Phthalo blue, that is. Hang on. There we go. Now, of course, with watercolour, you're not going to apply it the way I do. You're going to have washes and stuff like that. But, you know, we're testing here. That's what we're doing. Okay, yeah, we have a lot of snow. Okay, give the paint a little body. It gives the paint a little body. It is not... Hang on. Okay, it is not absorbing so fast and you have more control. I'll share a video on FB on how to use gum arabic. Oh, thank you. Yes, please do. Because you know how we love all of this stuff. Okay, so this is the, oh gosh. Sorry, I goofed up here. I went all the way with that, so I need to okay. By the way, this brush is beautiful. Really nice. So at the same time, I'm testing brushes as well. It's interesting, this watercolor canvas. I'm not sure about that, but okay. Okay, and this is the Strathmore. And see, I've picked some papers which I think people are able to, you know, obtain. And one or two which are different, which are available in Europe and here in Australia, by the way. Okay. All right. Well, let's just put those aside. Let's try the ink. Okay. Okay, give it a try. You'll love it. Okay. We hear sweet little feet. Yes, you know what it is? It's my dogs that are tapping on my door, on my window. Sorry, on my glass door. They want to come in, but when they come in, they just they do. They're cheeky. That's what they are. All right, so okay, we just not had any success trying watercolors. Well, you know what, Cherry, I think it's time. Okay, this is the Bombay ink, all right? And what I'll do is I'll change the brush. So I'm using the Rosa 10. This is the first time I'm using this brush, by the way, so I don't know what it's going to do to me. Okay, more ink. Sorry. Oh. Excuse me, hang on a sec. I've just done something very goofy. Oh, water everywhere. It's not what I want. Just let me put some ink down. Yep. Okay, this is the Bombay ink. And I suppose what's really interesting to do is to, you know, after a day, see what happens after a day. I'm going to put the ink on the other side, okay? So, look how lovely and vibrant that is anyway. My goodness. Okay, ink is, not sure. Okay, ink, here we go, ink, ink, okay, ink on here, and ink. And I believe, like all mediums and all, you know, when you're using mediums, is to wash your brush, you know, like wash your brushes, because, you know, brushes are expensive and I think you need to take care of them. So I thought, well, I'm just rinsing these ones straight away so I don't have, like, particularly the ink. Watercolor I'm not all fussed about, but the ink I want to quickly rinse, and I'll probably quickly wash this straight after this painting session. So there's this. Okay, so we've used ink. What about Inktense? Let's use Inktense. Seeing as I've been using this brush, I might as well continue. Pretty colors, yes, I think they are. Okay, so Inktense, let's go a different color so we can see the difference. I don't know, let's try, I want something that is that you'll be able to see, that's all. Oh gosh, decisions can't be that hard, can it? Okay, well, let's go red. Is it really that hard? Alright. So Inktense. Okay, so these have got to dry. So because well, that's how the test will be anyway. So I've got a dryer, so a hair dryer that is. So can I ask a question then? For all the watercolor artists out there, or for all of those who enjoy painting with watercolor, what are the papers that you like to use? Okay. All right, so there's Inktense. So we've got Aquarelle. Okay, I'll rinse this. Hi, Jelena. Ooh, paints, yes. Okay, I've ruined one brush using it with alcohol ink, so don't do it. Luckily, it wasn't a very expensive brush. The colours remind me of the sea on a lovely sunny day. Yes, they do. Those colours are just gorgeous. They're glorious. Okay, so, all right, so here we go. One more. Let's try one more. What shall we try? Daniel Smith. I know, that's right. We'll go Daniel Smith. And just so I know what I'm using, this is Daniel Smith. I said I wanted to try that one. Maybe I should try that one instead. Sorry. I wanted to try the yellow green. Hang on. Okay, my favourite paper for watercolour is Ash and Bayerhog. Oh, explain Bayerhog. Hannah Mueller says Abigail. Okay, yeah, that's what I wanted. The Phthalo Yellow Green, and that's by Daniel Smith. Sorry, I'm just doing this so, because I don't have any room here. Hang on. Why is that hair there? You know, this canvas is an interesting surface. I'm not sure about it. That's the whole thing. I'm not sure. Well, I just did a goofy thing. I didn't paint on here. That's the Ash, the most important paper. All right, so hang on. Let me just do this one as well. I forgot all about Ash. I'm just going to okay, hang on a sec. What have I got here? That was the... I'm just going to do it again because I can't remember. And we want Inktense. Just getting the Inktense. That was so goofy of me to do that. Let's try the ink on here. Sorry, folks. Is that the ink? Should have done a different colour. Okay, Chrissy, do you have any metallic paints? Yes, I do. It's a silly question. Abigail, I know. My question to you is, do you have metallic paints? You prefer... Oh, okay, Jelena, you prefer the blocks. All right. Yes, I do have the metallic paints. They're very nice too. Now you're going to say, well, what are you going to use them for? I don't know. You know. All right, so I can see some of them are wet. So I'm going to get the blow dryer. Let me just make sure that I remember what we did. We did the... we did that's the Daniel Smith, that is the Inktense, and that was the ink. Okay, got that. All right, so I'm going to dry this. I'm just going to turn off the sound because it gets too loud, and I'll be back in a tick. Here we go. Where's my sound? Hello. Okay, we're back. I don't have any metallic planes. I might ask for a 24 set for my birthday, but then again, what would I use them for? Pfft. Really? Tisk tisk. Abigail says, what do you mean? What do you use metallic paint for? We need to brighten up our day. They look so pretty. There you go. All right, so look, I think these are dry enough. Oh, hang on. I'm just drying another one. Hang on. I'm just going to let this dry on its. I've dried most of it. There's a bit there. So let's just leave that for the time being, but I will come back to that. Okay, so trying. Okay, so it says improves lifting of colours, apply to paper and let dry before painting. Okay, so what I've done, just to recap, I've applied this. And we've painted on this. We've used ink and watercolour. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put droplets on it, and I'm going to see how it lifts. Now, of course, we can lift through a brush. So I'm going to try lifting with water alone, paper towel, and then the solution. Okay, so, and of course I'm re-wetting, okay, to see if it's going to pick up. Okay, so it's this part. So let's just, I'm wetting my brush, and I want to see what I can do without the solution. Okay. Now, as you know, Phthalos, I won't be able to get it to white, back to white. There's just no way. No way. But, and what I might do is I might zoom in. How about if I zoom in? Hi, Vivian. Hello. Just let me do this. Hang on. Here we go. That might do it. Okay, so it's lifting now. Oh, sorry. What am I saying? That is with the solution. This is with the solution. Okay, I'm lifting it this way. Maybe I should scrub with this. That's too soft of a brush. Okay. That's lifting. I said hi, Vivian. Oh, I did say hi, Vivian. Hi, Giroko. Oh, hello. Okay. Now, please know that I'm playing. Oh, look at the ink. The ink tints came off, but not the Bombay ink. It's not lifting. Well, I didn't think it would. Off the arch. Oh, wow, that's a really good test. Well, okay. I'm going to leave that. For a moment. Look what's happened. Okay, this is where the medium is up here, and what it's done, it's granulated my my aquarelle watercolor. It's granulated it a little bit with the yes, and the turquoise. That's the Daniel Smith. That's the, okay. All right, let's just, ooh. On the Hotpress paper. Oh, look, that's gone to nearly white. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, on the cold press, it worked. Back to white. I didn't expect that. Okay, hang on. I didn't expect that. Okay, Inktense, look, as well as... Oh, that's amazing. Okay. Nope. Ink, nope. It's trying. It's trying. Nope. Oh, slight. It's only slight. Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. Sorry. Okay, I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited. Okay, so this part is without core, without the lifting solution. Okay. Let me just get a Oh, that's interesting. Wow. Okay, I'm thinking that maybe I could try painting with watercolors with a nib pen. Oh, why not? You know, there's no right or wrong. Okay, that's not going to come off. If I'm struggling with the lifting off medium. Okay, I think the lifting off medium, I'm going to wait till these things dry. Oh, look at that water on there. Yep. Okay. Oh, for heaven's sake, I'm making too much of a mess. Hang on. Well, that's interesting. I am putting pressure on my brush, almost scrubbing it. That's why I changed my brushes, because this is a synthetic brush. And now, mind you, this is when the paint has dried, okay? Not wet. Obviously, we know that we can pick up once if it's wet. And we go, oh, no, 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 I don't want that. So you lift it up straight away with a paper towel. This is where the paint has dried, okay? Just wanted to remind you. Yes, okay. It's all right. Well, it's working. It did lift. Mind you, these are dry, okay? The paper was dry. Wow, that's brought it back to white. Almost, not 100%, almost. Okay, it's not come, the ink. Yep, well, we know, I know that it wasn't going to work on the ink, but, you know, we can test, you see. I'm thinking that maybe, all right, so, okay, so on the canvas it's working. Let's see without the solution. So far, and it's working on the Inktense. I'm impressed with the Inktense. So I wonder what's going on with the Inktense as far as binders. I haven't done enough research, I think, for that, because look what's happened. It's well, it's working compared to the ink, the Bombay ink. Do you know what I mean? Okay, Dale Rowney cold press. I think what happens is that it's not with the cold press paper compared. If you compare the hot press to the cold press, I'm sorry, the hot press to the cold press, I'm getting back to the white. But mind you, these are staining colours, okay? So I think we're doing brilliantly anyway when you're trying to get a value, like a lighter value. I love watercolour and glass. Shame I'm not too good with this medium, but I'm not going to let it beat me. I just keep playing. I'm the same with acrylics. And I was to a certain point with watercolour, and then the penny dropped. Then I got it. I totally got it. It only took me, but that was from playing, right? So yes, definitely. Okay, well that one seems to have come off pretty good, that colour. So it's, well, you know, I wasn't expecting too much from the okay, not with the Bombay ink. Okay, let's have a look now. So the whole point of this exercise is, do you go out and get this medium? Can you do without this medium? Okay. Okay. Now this is Dale Rowney 300 watercolor paper. I'm not even going to try that one. It's just not going to work. Okay. Here we go. Wow. Strathmore Watercolour 300 GSM. That's going back to white, almost. There is a light, a very light stain. Okay. Oh, I put too much water there. Oh my gosh, look at that. Interesting. I hardly did anything to that. Okay. You're kidding. It's come off the Strathmore watercolour, the ink, Bombay ink. That means it was just sitting on the surface on the Strathmore watercolour paper. Oh, I've got to be careful. It was just sitting on the surface. So what I think, okay, here we go. Stonehenge. Stonehenge hot press. Chrissy, did you dilute the medium before applying? No, I did not. Nope. The only thing I did was, because my brush was dry, I wet my brush and then I dried it with a paper towel. That's the only bit of water that was on there, and that was only in the beginning. That was only just to wet my brush initially. Okay. Nope, it's not doing that. Now this is without. This is on Strathmore. Ooh, not bad, Strathmore. So interesting. Interesting experiment. Now, for all of those who are experienced watercolors, you know, I'm just playing here and I'm just trying to figure it all out. And the only way for me to figure it out is to play. So I'm open to suggestions in any way possible. If I'm not doing this correctly, happy to be. Okay, you know what? It wasn't this. Oh, interesting. I'm going to let this dry, but what I'm finding on the Stonehenge Aqua Hotpress 100% cotton, it's not coming. Oh, hang on. Let it dry. I'll let it dry. Oh, here we go. Pastelmat. Look, I can see there's a line. You can see. Here we go. You can see where I've used the solution underneath, and when I haven't with the Pastelmat. You can see that, and you can see it with the Toscana rough underneath. That's an interesting observation. Now this paper, Pastelmat, can take a beating. It is for pastel, I know. But we use it for so many other mediums. Coloured pencil, inks, wet media, dry media. Okay. Okay, this is without the solution. I'm struggling a bit with that on the Pastelmat. I'm fighting it. This came off much easier. Yeah, look, I'm struggling with this one. I'm struggling. This one's not coming off. Okay. The bit where I didn't put it, I'm struggling lifting off, whereas as opposed to the Pastelmat, not bad. It was all right. Wow, that came off nicely. Didn't have to struggle with that one too much. So this is the Sennelier, okay, watercolor that I'm using. Always remember that. I suspect, and I thought I had some QOR watercolor, but I mustn't have. I thought I did, but I'm pretty sure I thought I had 1 or 2 tubes around, but which would have been better to use it on, because obviously the manufacturer will use it on their own product, naturally. So I'm trying to activate this, lift it after it's dried. Okay, so if it's wet, it might be another story altogether. Okay, so bear that in mind. Okay, Nuria says, I'm not good with watercolor, but I'm still working with watercolor. Yeah, exactly. Doesn't matter. You just have to keep on playing. All right, so struggling there. Okay. All right. Okay. This is the arch. Where I didn't use the lift aid. So mind you, I've picked the most staining colours, okay? The most, you know, phthalo blue, phthalo green. So this is like the all the way at the end of the scale. I'm not all watercolor pigments are staining. I've picked the most staining ones, so you know that's what we need. We need to test it at the most extreme. Okay, the ink. Yeah, it's not. I knew that's not going to work. Okay, all right. All right. Now, what I'll do is I'm going to dry this very quickly, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop. I'm going to drop each of a bit of the aid on these and to see what happens. So just let me dry this very quickly. I'm just going to turn off the sound, so hang on a sec. Okay, I'm back. All right, I think that's reasonably dry. So what I'm going to do, and this is the solution. And I just want to see what happens when I just leave this. This is on the side where I did not put the lift aid on. Yep, there we go. Because as you know how I asked you before, what is the favorite color, what papers that you like to work on when it comes to watercolor? For me, believe it or not, it's arch. It really is dependable, I find, or reliable. I think that's what it is. And then I suppose it's, sorry. I suppose it's what I'm painting. You know, what subject I'm painting. fun. I'm just going to put some on here as well. Just bear with me for a minute here. Sorry. It's here. Let me just drop here. Okay. All right, so let me just put this on so I don't do anything. Look at me, fetish for containers. I can't help myself. I love them. It doesn't matter what they are. I can use them for anything. All right, so what I might do is just dab this with a paper towel and see what happens. A dry towel, hang on. Look what's happened there already. Oh wow. Here we go. Yep. Suppose you'd have to work it in, but some surfaces no. All right, okay. I'm going to let this mostly dry, but I just wanted to make some interesting observations. I found, let me just zoom out a little bit. All right, so what I found is that on my hot press, it granulated these colours, which is interesting. On hot press, it just did what it was supposed to do on hot press paper. Lines are smooth, they're not rough. But yes, and when it comes to, where are you? I'll hold this here so you can see. I found that on the hot press, it lifted this up and I got it to white, back to white. Right. So it pretty much lifted through all of the examples that I showed. On the Arche, the cold press, it did leave a stain. And when I used water, plain water, I don't think it made too much of a difference. I think what happened was it was easier to lift rather than me struggling on the one where I hadn't used the lift aid. It lifted the ink tense. It did not lift off the Bombay. Interesting. And it didn't do that. Well, we know that, well, I didn't expect it to. Let's just put it that way. But I thought, you never know. I don't know. Don't know unless you try. So it's not going to work. Well, it's a watercolor ground. It's a watercolor medium. So why would it? You'd probably need alcohol, probably to lift off ink if we were going to do that. But yes. With the watercolor canvas, I don't think it made too much of a difference. Again, I didn't need to struggle too much with the lift off, with the lifting medium. Dale Rowney, it didn't lift off the ink tents off that. So you know what? It's really interesting when you do something like this, you kind of like, you know, cold press from cold. We're comparing apples with apples here, cold press and cold press. So I wonder what they put in their paper when they're sizing it. Do you know what I mean? Like when they're making it. I find that that's really unusual. Oh, Ange, hello, nice to see you. Ash is really good. I like to use Hotpress for coloured pencils sometimes. Yes. Chrissy, would you use core medium for lifting off watercolour after trying it out? Or no medium? You know what? I'm not sure. I suppose I would use it. You know how sometimes like we make a mistake and we're thinking, oh no, I shouldn't have put that there. Well, I suppose that's probably what I would use it for. You know what? It doesn't hurt to put a layer of this before you start. I mean, on Hotpress it granulated this, but I don't think I would probably use it, because I would probably make mistakes. Oh my word. I mean, you know, well, you know how with pastels, I use my kneaded eraser to pick up pastel. I suppose it's the same thing. I want to be able to pick up and erase much easier. So the answer to your question is probably. I would probably use it. Yes, I would. I would probably use it. Now that I've got that. Yes. Oh, and I do agree. It's very, very nice for coloured pencil, because I have used it for coloured pencil. Yes. Ange, okay, I need to watch the replay, but saying hi to all. Okay, Ange. Hello to you as well. G'day, Sneaks. Hello, how you going? All right, so if we're talking, and hang on, just let me dab that on there. Okay, so another observation. Yeah, so that's where it leads me to think, you know, yeah, because cold press, cold press, cold press, hot press, hot press, rough, and of course Pastelmat. I probably wouldn't bother on Pastelmat, to be honest, but it does happen. It's dry now, but it needs to be completely dry. Yes, that's interesting. I wonder. You know what? It lifted off, in comparison to Pastelmat, it lifted off as opposed to the one that I didn't. And because that's right, because I struggled here. The lifting off medium was probably successful on Pastelmat because it didn't work here. Forget ink, it's not going to work. But it worked on Inktense, left a stain though. And it wouldn't come off here. Let me see. I think I tried on that one. Why didn't it work? Did I not try on that one? Oh yeah, I mustn't have tried. Oh, look at that. It came off altogether. Look at that. Oh. On rough, the Inktense came off. Not a problem. What else can I say about it? It just surprised me. Oh, is it expensive to use? I paid about, I think it was around $15 Australian dollars. So in the US, you'd probably pay around about the $10 mark. In the UK, probably something similar. But who said that they can't get the... It was you, Paulo, wasn't it? Okay, thanks a lot for the stream, but I have to go. Okay, Paulo, thank you so much for popping by. I know it's really, really late over there in the UK. And even later for you, Abigail. So, okay, do you think it affects the tooth or how paint goes down after you've used it? Well, Sneaks, funny you should ask that question. What I did was before the stream, I applied the lift aid to half of the paper and the other half not. Okay, I let that dry. When I painted, and the answer to your question is, when I painted, on some surfaces it didn't make much difference, but on the Arches watercolor it granulated slightly, and I'll bring it up so you can have a look. It really didn't affect any other paper. I don't think it affected any other paper except for the Arches hot watercolor, and I'll just show you what I mean. Can you see how it granulated there? And this is Sennelier, the Sennelier watercolors, which are transparent, and honey base, okay? Honey, sorry, not honey base, honey in their binder. So yeah, so I didn't notice any other difference. Oh yeah, sorry, I lie. And Pastelmat. It cauliflowered, which I expected to do it anyway, but it didn't cauliflower so much with Pastelmat. As you can see, the difference, you know, because this half is the bit, yeah. So that's pretty much, yeah, you're a night bird. Yeah, you are too, Abigail. So the question is, and Oksana asked, would I consider using this now on my work? Probably, because now that I think about it, I wasn't sure. Now that I think about it, because now, you know what? I can't find my kneaded eraser. Isn't that funny? I use a kneaded eraser to pick up my pastel, so why wouldn't I use something similar for that? Yes. So we've got the Sennelier, we've got Daniel Smith, Phthalo yellow green, we've got the Inktense, the red, and the Bombay ink. So they're the things that I used. You know what? You can use just about any watercolor medium. Look, I didn't even get to use the Hydrus PH, the watercolor. I suspect it would be the same as the watercolors. But yeah, look, can it be used with watercolor pencils? Interesting. You know what? I will try that and I will report back on that one. Okay, I will. It looks less even than normal granular. Yes, it does, but remember, this is not a granulating color, Deb. It's not granulating, you know. So it made it granulating for something that isn't. But yeah, look, there are so many variables and there's so many things that you can do. So I just thought, well, you know what, let's have a go. Let's see what happens. But anyway, look, thank you all so much for you know, hanging around, checking this out. And if you're seeing this on the replay, please let me know. you know, if there's anything that that I did that you had questions with, or that you could give me some feedback as to maybe try something else. Well, Abigail has asked me to do it on watercolor pencil, so I will do that and report back on that definitely. But yeah, but look, anyway, look, thank you all so much for joining me this week. Probably, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to be doing next week because as you know, I've got my coloured pencil piece, but I wanted to work with pastel and watercolour on Pastelmat paper. So I'm going to do a little project on that, and I want to see what's going to happen with that. Thank you all so much. It was a lot of fun to watch and connect. Thank you for the stream. Oh, you say the loveliest things, Oksana. Thank you so much, everyone.